There are oceans made of acid? Arsonists like to unwind doing what? A moth that wants to drink your blood exists? We've got a frighteningly large list of facts to keep you up at night. I'm Mike with List 25, and here are 25 facts that'll surely scare you. 25. Safety coffins. So, you've been buried alive. Well, tough break. But help is at hand with the safety coffin. Yes, because medical science wasn't at its finest several hundred years ago, this practical solution was devised. Those accidentally buried could pull on a string that rang a bell topside. Fear of a premature burial is called taphophobia. Safety coffins happened due to a real case involving Alice Blunden, who in 1674 was thought to be dead and given a funeral, when in fact, she was only sedated. 24. Rogue black holes. Not all black holes are way out in space. Some fear that a rogue hole will one day come close to us and suck the planet into its event horizon, where it'll be ripped to pieces like a dog with a newspaper. The good news is, though, we'd probably all be dead by that stage, with the Earth destabilized to hell. Thankfully, the chances of a rogue black hole are 1 in 100 billion. 23. Murder hornet. If you're scared of wasps, you might want to look away now. A sting from an Asian giant hornet is enough to affect your internal organs. They were dubbed murder hornets by the Japanese, and this is no exaggeration. For example, its potent poison can fatally damage your kidneys. That's one heck of a sting, like you've been attacked by an insect version of Muhammad Ali. Float like a butterfly, sting like a murder hornet. 22. The scariest movie trailer. We're used to watching lots of horror movies today. Some of us maybe not so. However, back in the 70s, things weren't so desensitized. When The Exorcist came out, it shocked audiences with its terrifying story of child possession. The release was so controversial, even the trailer got a big reaction. Can you believe it made folks vomit and was actually banned? And this was just a teaser trailer. What's more, it was in black and white. If you dare to be scared, then Warner Brothers made it available to watch on their YouTube channel. Be warned, it does contain flashing strobe-like images. 21. The VentHaven Museum. I just had the worst nightmare. I was trapped in a building with a ton of creepy ventriloquist dummies. Oh wait, it was real. This is the VentHaven Museum, located in Fort Mitchell, Kentucky. It was founded by the late William Shakespeare Burger, well, that's a name, who was a title magnate and ventriloquist enthusiast. You could say he had a hand in everything. His enormous collection of dolls and related items has been on display since the 70s. The museum features well over 1,000 freaky characters to meet. Actually, not that afraid of ventriloquist dolls, are you? 20. The moths that drink blood. There are such things as vampire moths, my friends. Part of the Calyptra genus, they're found in Asia, Africa, and Europe, and they're hungry. Reportedly, these things can feed for up to an hour. Where are they putting this stuff? There's an American and Canadian variety, but don't panic, it doesn't appear to be a bloodsucker. 19. Obi-Wan and James Dean. Acclaimed actor and Obi-Wan Kenobi himself, Sir Alec Guinness, wasn't actually that big a fan of Star Wars. However, he did possess some Jedi-like powers.
May the Force be with you.
When meeting fellow screen icon James Dean outside a restaurant in 1955, he had a chilling premonition of the future. Upon seeing Dean's car, Sir Alec warned him not to drive it, or he would die within a week. Dean ignored him, and a week later, he was killed in a car crash. 18. The Judas Cradle. No, the Judas Cradle isn't some crazy experimental rock album. It's a brutal torture device used in medieval times. Simple and gruesomely effective, it consisted of a wooden pyramid and ropes operated by gears. You were stripped down, tied up, and then gradually lowered till your sensitive areas touched the tip of the pyramid. I won't go too far into the gory details, but let's just say victims of the Spanish Inquisition suffered a truly horrific and painful experience. Worst of all, it was invented by a lawyer, as if lawyers didn't have a bad enough rep. 17. Watch out for costumed kids. Remember that scene at the start of Halloween where a kid in a scary clown costume commits murder? This isn't as bad as that, but it's still pretty unsettling. It's been scientifically proven that children get up to more mischief when their identities are disguised. Specifically, they become more light-fingered due to feeling emboldened by the costume and being part of a group. Seems that you need to hold on to more than just your candy on October 31st. 16. Crows recognize you. Crows just got scarier. We associate them with hanging around graveyards, but we now know they also recognize human faces. In 2009, a weird study happened where scientists put on different rubber masks and recorded how crows reacted to them. A caveman's face proved especially effective. The birds saw it as dangerous and physically attacked the wearer. So, next time you walk past some crows, make sure you have a happy expression. 15. Disney pirate bones. There's a dark backstory to Pirates of the Caribbean. Johnny Depp is nowhere to be seen. Reportedly, the dead sea dogs seen during this iconic Disneyland attraction were a little too authentic for comfort. Back in the days before health and safety, the House of Mouse went to the anatomy department of the University of California and brought back some actual skeletons for decoration. You expect the Texas Chainsaw Massacre family to do that, but not Uncle Walt. Hey, strive for reality, I guess. Cousin Walt to me. For real. Turns out I'm related to Walt. Who knew? 14. The real Walking Dead. Imagine thinking you're dead, and the body you're walking around in is kind of a zombie body with bits missing. This is Cotard's, or walking corpse syndrome. It takes its name from Jules Cotard, a French neurologist who introduced the idea in the late 19th century. The delusion, which has been linked to extreme depression, is so powerful it can convince you that you're not there. Thankfully, walking corpse syndrome only has 200 recorded cases as of 2024. 13. The corpses of Mount Everest. Mountaineers die trying to climb Mount Everest. That's the risk you take venturing into extreme conditions. With this stark fact comes the unnerving idea that we can't recover the bodies. Between 150 and 200 people are thought to be lost among the snowy peaks. This is out of a reported 330 intrepid explorers who met their end way up high. 12. Might I trouble you for a moment? Did you know mites can get on your eyes? Meet the Demodex mite. They're big fans of the face. However, you tend to notice them if they start irritating your eyelids. Hair follicles are susceptible to them, so the lashes are somewhere they call home. This can be tricky in large numbers, causing the skin condition demodicosis. It's a freaky thing, but don't worry, it can be treated. 11. The cannibal disease. When eating your own was more popular in society, the threat of kuru was never far away. This neurological disease is transmitted via infected brain tissue through prions, basically harmful proteins. Kuru then attacks your nervous system, affecting your muscles and leading to mental degeneration. I never thought I'd feel so sorry for Dr. Lecter, but guess I do. 10. Spiders are getting bigger. Any climate change skeptics who are also arachnophobes may want to pay attention. A 2009 study observed that wolf spiders living in Greenland got larger when the snow melted earlier. It sounds like some sort of conspiracy theory, yet science says differently. How crazy is it that spiders live in the frozen Arctic anyway? Is nowhere safe from these 8-legged freaks. I like spiders, they're fine. They eat the insects. Spiders are... Look at that one YouTube with the adorable Lucas the spider. It's adorable. 9. The truth about squeaky dog toys. Those cute squeaky dog toys, well, they're not as cute as they look. You see, they make that squeaky sound because a man's best friend likes the thing in its mouth to be noisy. Now, I'm not talking about rubber cartoon characters. I'm talking about live prey that's screaming for its life. Our pet toys and their high-pitched sounds remind the animals of this. It helps the dog feel good for a totally morbid reason. 8. Serial killer hotline. Back in the early 70s, a young University of Washington psychology student named Ted would show up at the Suicide Hotline Crisis Center in Seattle. Was Ted a good-hearted young man looking to help those in dire need? Doubtful, because he was none other than Ted Bundy, the notorious serial killer who went on to murder at least 36 people. 7. Missing nukes. A nuclear missile is a powerful thing, but like any object, it can go missing. It takes some talent, of course, but the problem is more widespread than you might think. It's thought as many as 51 nukes are currently unaccounted for. Some say approximately 100. Even if you dismiss that as a conspiracy theory, you can't deny this happens. When a nuclear weapon vanishes for whatever reason, it's referred to as a broken arrow. The USA reportedly has 32 of these, far less than 100 and a little less than 50, but still rather concerning. 6. Swimming with snails. Next time someone tells you to slow down, you might want to speed up. You see, even a snail can be a predator, of sorts. It's not that they're gonna crawl all over you and eat you or drown you in slime or anything like that, but freshwater snails are considered as dangerous as sharks due to the nasty infections they carry around. The parasitic condition schistosomiasis causes fever, irritated skin, and bowel problems. It can be fatal, so swim away from the snails. 5. Medical errors are commonplace. Here's a particularly worrying fact. Over 250,000 deaths per year in America are due to medical error. As reported in 2017 by the National Library of Medicine, this makes them the 3rd leading cause of death. Shocking stats indeed. It appears to be a big problem in the US compared to other countries with a functioning healthcare system. 4. Aztec child sacrifice. You've probably heard that ancient people performed human sacrifices to honor their gods. Some of these unfortunate victims were children. Yet, things get even scarier when you hear why they selected children. Take the Aztecs. Several hundred years or so back, they wanted to please Huitzilopochtli, the god of the sun and war. Little ones were slaughtered to appease drought. When the children cried, it was hoped their tears would summon water to the land. Yikes. 3. Flaming nut job. In 2016, a Danish arsonist made headlines. Not because he'd set fire to something, though of course he did do that. No, he managed to attract greater attention for what he did after the blaze. This individual felt the need to take care of business. He was then caught thanks to some vital evidence left at the scene. If the idea of a sexually aroused fire freak sounds scary, then brace yourself. It's a documented phenomenon that some arsonists treat it as a sex thing. I know the Danish enjoy making bacon, but this takes it to a whole new level. 2. Acid ocean. You've heard about acid rain, but what about acid seas? That's the scary consequence of the high amount of carbon dioxide produced by humanity. When the CO2 mixes with the water, it results in hydrogen ions, basically atoms or molecules with an electric charge. This leads to the ocean becoming acidic, to the extent that it can damage marine skeletons and generally harm many organisms. I mean, it's acid. Of course it's going to be harmful. 1. The real-life inspiration behind Freddy Krueger. To this day, I am terrified of Freddy Krueger, and it doesn't help that Nightmare on Elm Street was based on a harrowing true story. Director Wes Craven was inspired after reading grim reports about a young Cambodian child who died in their sleep. That child and his family had been through hell in their home country during the 70s, under the rule of the brutal Khmer Rouge. Whatever the child had been dreaming of, it was incredibly traumatic. Craven then took this terrible idea and turned it into a horror fantasy. A weird passerby in a fedora Craven had seen as a kid was the model for Krueger's look. So, what's the scariest fact you know? Let me know in the comments below. Also, don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any new content. We release videos Monday through Friday, and check out our social medias, including my personal ones, links in that description below. And if you like this idea, video, if you like this video, be sure to check out 25 creepiest things kids have said to their parents, because, oh man, kids saying creepy things is somehow creepier than adults doing it. So check that out. Have fun sleeping.